Hey guys, welcome back to another week.
Week 7. We'll run out of fingers soon.
You will run out of fingers soon. Alright, welcome back to week 7. This week's, or this weekend's, or whatever, this episode's goal is to start fitting some of the wooden battens, start doing the insulation. Cass started prodding this recycled plastic insulation into these hard to reach bits, and I'm gonna grab the wood that we cut and measured last time, and I'm gonna start pre-drilling them. And also I need to countersink. So the screws that we got are these self-drilling wingtip screws from Screwfix. The thing is, they're 40mm, but anyway, I thought these were going to be long enough, and they actually are slightly bit too short. The batten that we have is only 25mm thick, so you would think a 40mm screw is going to be fine, but this self-tapping bit is like almost a centimeter long, so like 10mm, and then the head is like almost 5mm, and the threads, I don't know if you can tell, start around there. So I came up with, I started testing it on a offcut we had, and one of the spare, basically one of the metals of the van that we cut out, I put this on top, and then I kind of tested how deep I need to countersink for the screws to go through. I think it's going to be fine. That's the plan. So what I'm going to do is get all the battens that we already cut, and then I'm going to measure where I'm gonna put holes, because there are some holes in the metal of the van. So yeah, as you can see, there are holes in the metal. So what I'm gonna do is put the batten up against it and then mark all the bits where there are no holes. Alright, welcome back everybody. Quick update. I prepared all of these battens, so countersunk a bit deep and then put all the screws in, ready to go. Meanwhile, Cass has started doing the insulation, but at the same time we thought we might as well do this shelf. It's a bit too thick and bulky, and we kind of need to remove it to insulate behind it, and we're probably not going to end up using it. We'll probably make a custom wood one because there's a lot of wasted space. So Cass Cass has been struggling for the past hour. You need to take off all the screws, you need to take that shelf off, you need to take the light out, which I've been helping her with. But as a heads up warning, it's pretty painful, so I'll help her finish removing that. And then now I'm going to prepare the other side horizontals, and then hopefully we'll be able to screw and glue all the horizontal beams, and yeah, it should be good. Alright, we're back.
After a lot of pain and struggling,
A lot of pain and suffering.
the stupid black shelf came out.
The back shelf is off.
It's only held in with 4 screws, yet we had to undo about 20 to get them out. Now I'm just gonna put some insulation in these bits, and then use the foam on here, and then put the thermowrap stuff on it, and then we can box it, and then we can build a shelf for it.
So yeah, we're gonna Kaz gonna help me glue and screw these battens. I've seen some people who don't glue them, I've seen people who do glue them. So yeah, we're just gonna glue and screw these in, and hopefully that all works out.
Yeah.
Alright guys, the battens are up. They seem super solid. We glued them as well, and I tried hanging off them. They seem pretty solid. I think all the screws have bitten properly, and the glue will help as well.
A few moments later.
Good morning, welcome back to another day. It's now Monday of the Easter weekend. We had Saturday and Sunday off.
Today's plan, or Easter Monday's plan, we've done the battens and we're going to do some more insulation. So we're going to start stuffing all these little things because you can't really do the battens for the ceiling until we stuff it. So yeah, that's the plan. We're going to start getting on with that pretty annoying and slow job, so I'm sure you guys don't want to watch us do all of that, so we'll probably skip ahead once we filled up all these little annoying bits with the recycling plastic. Where?
Up here. So we finished all of the top nooks and crannies. These took forever, but as I'm sure you're probably aware, they're quite fiddly and long-winded, but everything's done. So we've done all of the tops, all along the sides, everything that we could get to in here, because we took out the shelf a couple of days ago. And now we're just filling these holes, or these little bits. We're going to leave this bit and this bit for now until we do the wiring, because we think we might run some of our wiring behind. Yeah, we're just going to do these bits, and then the next step is to do the Kingspan for the roof. So we're halfway through doing the Kingspan on the ceiling. We've cut it all out. We haven't done the full width just because we've used the width of the board rather than cutting it up into different bits.
So what we thought, to make the most of the board, it's better to just use 120 and just cut the correct length. In here we have loads of scrap bits of Celotex from the previous bit when we were doing the floor, so we'll fill it up with that or fill it up with recycled plastic.
So we're just using the 60mm stick pins, then you get about that much poking through.
Yeah, you get about 1 centimeter poking through, which is a bit short. What we've seen people do is the bit that sticks out, they then bend it over. Because we only have 1 centimeter left over, you can't really bend it, so we've been cutting it off and then putting the foil tape over it. And then we have a bit of a dilemma over here, because we obviously have a batten attaching to here, and the tongue and groove will run across, you know, attach to all these battens that are attached to these. Now the thing is, at the end there isn't one, and this is the ceiling of the van. So we'll probably have to fix some kind of batten here, so then we can screw the tongue and groove up. Otherwise it will be kind of hanging from there to here, and we got nothing to attach it to. Alright guys, we're back. Guess you're wondering what you're looking at. It's the roof. So I'm laying on the floor, and I thought I'd just show you how far we got. What we ended up doing, like I said, the 120 length of the Kingspan, so there are little gaps on the edges. Some of the cuts are a bit wonky, but it didn't really pressure them too much. We just wanted to get them up there, use up as much Kingspan as we can most efficiently, and then what we'll end up doing on these edges is we'll use the leftover Kingspan and then fill the rest, fill the little gaps and stuff. Once I put the battens on, we'll fill them with the plastic bottle insulation. But yeah, this is about a day's worth. Those little pillars, especially the ones in between, stuffing the plastic insulation in there took forever. But yeah, pretty happy where we are at, and hopefully we can wrap up most of the insulation tomorrow.
Good morning again.
It's another chilly, sunny day.
Yeah.
Today's plan is to finish the roof. So yeah, like yesterday we told you about this situation, so we'll just demonstrate. So batten's gonna go on there, and then here's a piece of cladding that's gonna attach to that, like that. And as you can see, with a problemo, we can't screw that onto anything. And before you say, just attach a batten to the ceiling, lads, like you've done it here, well, we can't, because we have a nice little rib here, and over here we don't have one.
Is that what they're gonna say?
Yeah. And if you screw up in here, your screw's gonna come out of the ceiling, because that's...
And you did not want that.
And you don't want that, so what we're going to do...
So we figured out if we screw one here but go into this bit, so you're screwing into here,
Yeah.
and have your batten this way.
So imagine cladding sits on a beam there, and then we'll be able to screw that up into that. Now, the problem with these battens, which I kind of said before, is
that a gigantic curve?
The roof curves. And these battens are pretty hard and they're tough to bend. So yeah, what we came up with is this. So we've done a little test piece and we cut a few little slices out with the jigsaw, and that will give you just enough to be able to bend it. So we did try it with a longer piece.
And longer lines.
So like 2 centimeters. And it was working really well, but Kaz done this on her own and I came outside and I tested it by twisting it and I just snapped it. So what we're gonna do is, now we're testing the only 1 centimeter cut-ins and like 4 centimeter parts. Seems to work on a small piece. We're gonna try it on a longer piece and hopefully it all goes according to plan. Right, so here's the test. As you can see,
so that's what it sits like normally, and now we've cut the little lines. It bends up a lot easier.
So yeah, we're gonna fit this up and finish the installation bit up here. Alright, we're back. You see we're in a nice sunny day, super hot. No, look, I have my winter jacket over there. It was snowing 5 minutes ago, full on snowing. And now I'm too
like
hot.
Bright blue skies.
So yeah, great British weather, good one, mate. We're doing the ceiling battens, and we prepped everything. We done the same thing that we did with the side battens. So we countersinking, screws are in, we pre-drilled them, and then we added these little cuts that we've shown you before, just to make it easier to bend. We just added a few little slices on this end, and then on this end, a bit easier to easier to bend. Another thing we added that we just came up with, I'm sure probably loads of other people are doing this as well, but we added these little channels where we're going to run the wires through for the lights. Otherwise you have no way of doing it.
So I've just been cutting out this bit. I forgot to show you how we done it, but here is the little cuts. So what you do is you get your jigsaw and put the wood this way, and then literally what I'd been doing is cutting in at the blade's width, which creates your 3 lines, so there, and there. And then what Laz is now doing is then just getting a chisel on the 3 on this edge, banging it, and then that creates the tunnel here. That then creates a tunnel from chiseling off those 3 lines. So these are for the roof battens at the front, because we've now fixed all the other ones. So yeah, I'm just gonna then screw them on. Laz has already done his countersink. Then we're just gonna pre-drill them and then screw drill the screws in a little bit, so then when we press it up, we don't have to worry about fiddling around with the screws. Join us next week where we crack on with the vertical battens on the side of the walls using our new toy. Meanwhile, Laz gets on with the wiring, running all of the cables. Thank you for watching and see you next week. My arm, mate. My arm.
What are you doing?
Good morning! It sounded like that kid.
Hi! Hi! Good morning!
Good morning! Hi! Hi!
Alright guys, we're back.
I guess we're back. Back again.